won by the St. Louis Blues against the Florida Panthers. Welcome everybody into the STL Hockey Fan Podcast. This is another solo episode. Fantastic. I love sitting here talking to myself in silence. There's no music. There's nothing like that. It's just me. So let's get to it. You know what I mean? So the Blues win 6-2 over the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers were on the tail end of a back-to-back. They won the first one in a shootout against Carolina. Carolina is not a bad team. So it's pretty great for Florida. You know, that would boost their motivation and their spirits and their energy. And then on the tail end, the Blues just come in and dominate. Let's talk about Jonathan Bergeron. And to be clear, it is not Bergeron, apparently. It is Bergeron. Joey and Curbs went to Bergeron himself, and that's what he said to call him. So here we are. So Bergeron, in his 3 games with the Blues, he now has 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. He is +3. After his game in New York, where he got the goal, just found the tiniest bit of sunlight that he could get that through. He was then put up to the top line with Thomas and Buchnevich for this game. And of course, he comes out, he gets 2 assists. The Blues get more offense than they have had in the entire season. And this can't be one of those things where, like, this is a fluke. So the boys need to come out, and I know I say what they need to do all the time. They're not going to listen to me. They don't care. But the boys need to come out against the Tampa Bay Lightning and do exactly that. Do exactly what they just did to Florida. They had their confidence. They were getting in the zone. Hofer making incredible saves. The ones that he didn't, I just think those were great shots from a great team. Nothing really that you can do. But there were a lot in those penalty kills that just looked awkward and crazy, and he still made them. And of course, the boys were blocking shots. I would actually love to know. So they had double the amount of shots blocked that. Sorry, let's do that right. Double the amount of blocked shots than the Panthers did with 14, while the Panthers had 7. So, and this is a stat I'm only like recently realizing, as I'm like really digging into stats and hockey and whatnot. So, if you have a ton of hits, it means you also didn't have the puck, and the Blues had 19 hits to the Panthers 26. So let's find, where is it? I would love to see. So, shots on goal was great. The Blues pretty much matched the Panthers every step of the way. I know at one point, you look down, you see Panthers have 4 shots, the Blues have 5. I think last game in New York, they sat at 8 shots for a while the Rangers had, I don't know, probably 20. So it was like 20 to 8 shots. And, you wonder why it was a 1-goal game, honestly, the entire time. So the Blues really need to come out and get all of that offense against Tampa Bay. So let's look at Tampa Bay. Right now, Tampa Bay isn't doing incredible. So they have 41 points. They are 3rd in the Atlantic. They are 19, 13, and 3. So they're above 500. They're 3rd in the Atlantic. That's great. As for their goals, man, I will say Brandon Hagel has 18 goals. Jake Gensel has 17 goals. Nikita Kucherov has 13 goals. That is That is insane. Because if you look at the Blues, the only person with double-digit goals right now is Jake Neighbors with 10. And then you've got, Justin Falk at 9, Thomas at 9, Kyra at 8, Holloway at 8. And, I mean, if you think about it, Kyrou, Holloway, they're out right now. Kyrou's been out for a while. Jake Neighbors, he was out for a while, and he still leads the team. So I think this is a breath of fresh air, them getting 6 goals against the, defending Stanley Cup champions. I think it should make all of us happy. I think it should make the team happy. And it has to be a moment of, it has to be a turning point in this season. It has to be. The fact that you are bits and pieces of a hockey team right now. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are out and injured. You are not what you were supposed to be. You are newly assembled. You've got Stenberg, you've got Bergeron, you've got Fabry. That's 3 people already inserted into your lineup that are an absolute need right now because you don't have your other guys. So the confidence you should get from, and I've said it in another video, this ragtag group of hockey players, the confidence you should get from defeating the defending Stanley Cup champs in such a fashion, it should be enormous. And, talk about injuries on Florida's side, they only have one guy out, and that's Matthew Tkachuk. Now, could Matthew Tkachuk have been the catalyst in this game to get Florida to where they, could overpower the Blues and maybe swap that score? Maybe. But I sincerely doubt one guy is going to do that. Now, if we want to look at points and standings and see where we are right now, so if we go wild card, the Blues are at 36 points. And the Utah Mammoth right above that, 37 points. And then right above that is the wild card spot, also at 37 points. The Blues are literally just 1 point out of a playoff spot. Now, obviously, we expected a lot more this season, and I mean a ton more. But we'll take what we can get after the season that we've had. So I think we're headed in the right direction. I think the Rangers game was a little bit of a setback, but they're getting there. I think they can come out against Tampa Bay and they can do the same thing. This is where they need to start being consistent. If this doesn't give them confidence and the ability to really get out there and push, then I really don't know what will. Now, I know it's only December and we're about to head into our Christmas break. However, I'm going to do some scoreboard watching. I would love to know if Utah or San Jose play tomorrow, Sunday. So let's look here. Let's go NHL schedule. Okay, Utah plays Winnipeg, and there is no Sharks game. Okay, so we pretty much have Utah against Winnipeg. The next day, Monday, is when we will have our game, the Blues against the Lightning. And then the next day, Tuesday, is when the Sharks will play the Golden Knights. So that is the day right before the break. So essentially, if Utah and San Jose lose and the Blues can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, we will essentially hold the wild card spot temporarily. And then you need to just build off of that, because the West is just, it's so unpredictable right now. Every team is kind of having their ups and downs in the West, and honestly, just across the league. while, so if you think about it, if all the other teams were doing great right now and the Blues were doing what they were doing, the Blues would be last, and there would be no making it back. But everybody is going through their struggles, so much so that the Blues are, I believe, still under 500, and they're 1 point out of a playoff spot. So take advantage. Take advantage of this Western Conference, and take advantage of the road. I feel like that was a great road win against Florida, and I would love to see them do the same thing against Tampa Bay. That's going to be a theme here. I'm going to keep saying the same thing. You got to do what you did against Florida, against Tampa Bay. They have to really dominate and eliminate the top players of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like I said, they've got Hagel, Gensel, Kucherov, the Cooch. You know what? We'll make this one a short one, but I'm going to give you a little tiny little story here, real short story. I was watching a hockey game. Obviously, it was Tampa Bay against somebody else, and I thought this was hilarious. Actually, I'm a liar. So it wasn't a Tampa Bay game. It was some other random game where a player basically did a move just like Kucherov, right? And so the announcer decided to yell, "The Cooch!" And the implications, the double meaning there, not even crossing the guy's mind, or maybe it did, but that was one of the funniest things I have heard on live TV, other than the ref at the Blues game saying, "You're not gonna like it, but the call was confirmed." Yada, or there is no goal. Yada yada yada. That is definitely still one of the funniest things I've ever seen at a Blues game, or a hockey game for that matter. So main takeaways here: we got people going for second chances, and they are taking them. You've got Jonathan Bergeron, Robbie Fabry. I would say first chance for Otto Stenberg, and I see Mayu doing really well. Falk and Tucker are getting up in the play, doing really well, pinching and keeping stuff in the zone. Like, I'm seeing a really good team here. Now, of course, again, I have said that I am not getting my hopes up until we get to 3 wins. You would like to think that this kind of win can give the boys some juice and get them on a roll. I feel like we have the people in place. The only thing that could really mess it up now is guys coming back from injury and ruining the chemistry. But you got to get your guys back. You got to get your main guys back. So with this being December 20th, actually my oldest daughter's birthday, that's another thing I don't think I've ever said on here. All of my kids, all 3, are 2 days apart in December 16th, December 18th, and December 20th. So with today being the 20th, and this being a weekly podcast, I will not see you until after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope it's great. I hope you have time with your family. I hope you have just great dinners, great conversations, great interactions, and just great memories made. So with that said, I love you guys. Let's go Blues.